Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BTE. It's the only place you want to be on a Tuesday evening. Tonight is round 5, Singapore Grand Prix. Let's hope for some great action. We've only got 15 on track, unfortunately. But hopefully it's 15 of the best and we can have some good racing. Now this evening, I've actually got a driver commentator who will obviously give us insights into the weather and just a bit of fun along the way. It's of course my teammate Fabian. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
I'm doing well. Singapore, yeah. I skipped this track for 3 years, so and I practiced. I started practicing last week, and to be honest, I started to like this track, so I'm excited.
I must admit it's not my favourite, and I actually preferred the old layout.
Oh no, I prefer this layout.
I just think that bit that's missing here was so iconic, but it is what it is. We've got what we've got.
Yeah. Yeah, to be honest, the old layout was the reason I skipped this track for so long. I just didn't like it.
So that was about the only bit of it I actually liked.
Yeah, now it feels more like a go-kart track, to be honest.
Oh, Neil will be first over the line. He's just coming into this newly formed sector, so won't be long and we'll get some action. I'm not sure on the turn numbers here, so we'll give it our best shot. I believe we're down to 19 with the newest layout. It was 23 and we dropped 4 of them.
I think rain is imminent.
Oh,
So it's important to get a quick lap in now.
here we go, across the start finish line, DRS wide open, braking about 70 metres, throw it in for turn 1 and 2. You want to be nice and tight for 3 and then open it up on the exit. Obviously going through the gears down to 4, another DRS zone coming up here, so you need the best exit you can from that corner or you just lose a bunch of time. If that's turn 5, I have no clue, but there we go. Into turn 6, you can run a little bit wider on the exit there, but you do risk that curve throwing you into a wall. Turn 7, pretty nice. Turn 8 comes at you very fast and it's very deceiving. It's a lot tighter than what you think it is. Now coming up to where the old Singapore sling was. Bit of a tricky section, not as tricky as it used to be. Now through to the Anderson Bridge. Luckily the cars don't get affected anymore, and I see some rain on my screen.
Yep.
So Neil could, I know he's fast anyway, but he could end up with the best time out of the lot. Another DRS zone coming down into the final sector. Opens that one nice and wide on the exit, and that's about where you'd have turned right for the old layout, but we're in a straight line here for the chicane. Brakes about 80 metres, hooks it nice and tight. Quite a good run considering the conditions. This one you just sort of drop a gear, throw it in and hope for the best. And he crosses the line for a 31.0. Can we see any improvement on that considering the conditions that are coming? Let's see how you're getting on it, Fabian. Throwing it in quite nicely, and you're going to get a 33.2. Keza Soze only managed a 40 dead. That could be painful for him. Fast Track Dave has lost it.
Track is already slippery.
See how Wookie does in the Mercedes. It seems to have quite a bit of grip. But yeah, this rain is coming down quite heavily, so this is going to be a pretty quiet qualifying session, I would think. He's outbraked himself a little bit for that chicane and a little bit wobbly on the exit as well. You can see how it's really affecting him now. He gets a 33.0, puts in P5. Ghost Rider's only just leaving the pits. He's going to regret that decision. And Ant Bean Ant is actually on a slightly damp track on soft tyres, whereas normally he goes for a dry track on intermediates. Go figure. I swear he likes to do things backwards. What's the weather prediction for the rain? Can you give us a little insight on that one?
I believe it was dry always. So.
That's not awful then. Just the qualifying that's a little bit interesting, which is why we saw nearly every driver on track almost immediately.
Yeah, but I have this weird glitch. I have it for I have it since F121 already. That if it rains in qualifying, it automatically says it will rain during the race as well. At my screen. I don't know what it is.
Oh, that track looks treacherous just around the Anderson Bridge. I'm not convinced Ghost Rider's going to get a good lap in here.
Nah, it's impossible that someone will set up stuff by now.
Especially as he's a no assist driver as well. He's going to be fighting with the braking, fighting with the accelerator. Is that a Williams that's... Yep, that's a Williams trying to turn around in the runoff. Not an easy place to try and turn around there. But we'll stick with Ghost Rider and see what he actually manages. DRS Neil's retired himself from the session, so he clearly thinks he's not going to improve, like the track conditions aren't going to improve.
It's going to be a dry race.
Awesome. Ghost Rider's bailed it and gone back to the pits. So I think that's probably going to be all she wrote in terms of qualifying. DRS disabled, it's definitely staying wet. Keza Soze is still on track, but he's not going to improve. He'd done a 37.1. He's coming into the final chicane and he's already at 37. He's heading straight for the pit lane. I believe everybody's just going to sit here now.
No, I think I'm gonna get some laps on the Inters.
Oh, exactly what Ant's doing.
Yeah,
so it's gone back to a normal qualifying for Ant, doing laps on the Inters.
Yeah, he always does that, even when it's fully dry.
It's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
So here we go. Let's have a few facts about the Singapore Grand Prix while we have not a lot going on, really. So believe it or not, this is actually quite an old race. Obviously not this track, Marina Bay was only built in 2008. But the Singapore Grand Prix actually dates all the way back to 1961, when it was actually known as the Orient Year Grand Prix, located at the Thomson Road Grand Prix circuit. It was renamed to the Singapore Grand Prix in 1966, shortly after Singapore became a sovereign country in 1965. They decided to discontinue the event after 1973 for a variety of reasons, apparently increasing traffic, high danger and unsuitability of the track, and inconvenience of having to close roads, obviously, and there was a fatal accident during the 72 and 73 races. I mean, clearly they're not bothered about closing roads now, because since 2008 we've had this track, which, as we all know, is a street circuit. I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm not a fan of driving it, but it is one of the best to watch, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. There's always something happening. I think it has a 100% safety car rate as well.
It certainly does. See, I know I've got a fact about that actually written down, believe it or not. Yep, every race has featured at least one safety car. As of the 2023 race, how many safety cars in total do you think the Singapore Grand Prix has produced? This is also a question for the YouTube chat. Let's get you all involved.
Since what year did it drive around this track?
2008 was the inaugural Singapore Grand Prix. Oh, at Marina Bay, of course.
Since 2008, I think 32.
Your guess is 32. Anybody in YouTube want to have a guess? I'll give you the answer at the end of qualifying. Obviously give people a chance to give us a guess. Hopefully not be jumping on Google to get the answers.
Nah, no cheating allowed.
We've got 6 people watching, so any of you 6 tell me seen at the Marina Bay circuit. So it's ran from 2008 to 2023. Obviously we had time off for COVID, but that's still quite a lot of races. And we've got 8 watching now. Of course, as always, leave us some likes. Like the channel, like the stream. Pop up and say hi. And obviously give us some guesses on this question. So some more facts about this circuit. Obviously it's been at Marina Bay since 2008 and it was the inaugural night race. So the first time the F1 organisers decided we were going to race in the dark with artificial lighting. Obviously we've got quite a few tracks that do it now. We've got Jeddah, Bahrain, just to name a couple of them. Round has had a guess himself at 25. Now I'm not going to tell you the exact answer, but I can tell you Mr. Roundy is fairly close. Let's see, who else have we got on track? Oh, you're on track yourself, so let's have a look at your Red Bull for 5 minutes. How's the conditions? They don't look awful at the moment.
Well, to be honest, it feels pretty good on the Inters.
I mean, this track when it's full wet is pretty treacherous.
Yeah. But I did some practice yesterday in the full wet. And yeah, I don't know if it's because I'm Dutch or, but it wasn't too bad.
Fair enough. Good evening, Mandy. You've guessed at 27. Let's see how many more guesses we can get. I believe that's M-Bulk has guessed at 28. So we're getting some pretty good guesses here. See how many more we can get in the next, what, 4.5 minutes? And Super Striker guesses at 23. And I got it right, it was M-Bulk. The name kind of give it away. Airways just jumped in the pit lane. Ant's doing some weird Singapore drift. Fast Track's out there trying to get some laps in. It's always a good idea to practice in the wet, that's for sure.
Yeah, especially for muscle memory.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, go back to 2021, I used to love the wet. But that's purely because I used to do a lot of career mode, and career mode throws up wet a hell of a lot.
Yeah, a lot. Especially around Austria, Silverstone.
Canada throws up a lot.
Yep.
Spa throws up a lot.
Yep.
I think I did 5 seasons, and every one of them 5 seasons had wet Spa. It was like I could not get a dry race at Spa. I'd get some dry practice. Soon as you hit the race, it was wet. And I'm not talking intermediate wet, I'm talking full wet. Although one of the weirdest things that's ever been thrown up on the F1 games was on the 2022 game, we actually had wet qualifying at Abu Dhabi.
I saw Jan Opmeer. He had a league race. I think it was WOR or PSGL. They had a wet Jeddah. No one was prepared for that. They all had a dry setup, and then suddenly they had to race at a wet Jeddah. I believe Jan Opmeer was around 2 seconds a lap faster than anyone else.
It's painful, isn't it?
Yeah,
I watched quite a few of his highlights actually from his PSGL and
yeah,
WORs.
he is insanely
First time he
fast.
came across wet, he was so slow, but then the next
Yeah,
time he was fast. But he
he's
admitted
just
himself he hadn't done enough wet practice at that point.
no, and then he started like training like a beast.
Thing is, everybody ignores the wet because they don't like it.
Yeah,
It's
but
like, oh no,
actually,
wet, I'm not going to enjoy that, I'm not going to practice it. Guaranteed you are going to throw it wet in league races a few times a season.
yeah,
And it will throw it up on tracks you do not expect it, like wet qualifying at Abu Dhabi.
yeah,
It's the
and
first time I've ever come across that. I mean, unluckily for me, my game decided to wipe all my wheel settings that night as well.
oh,
So by the time
yeah,
I
and
actually got a qualifying lap in, it had gone from dry with a little bit of sprinkle to awful.
yeah, and the fun thing about that is you have to run a dry setup because the race will be dry, so it makes it extra hard during quali.
Oh, it was literally Abu Dhabi drift.
Undrivable.
I think I managed to get P12 on the grid, or maybe a bit lower. I know I was in the bottom half.
Well, I see I'm currently sixth, so I'm
I think you'll be
extremely
staying
happy
there,
with that.
to be fair.
Yeah, yeah, I was hoping for P10, P11.
I mean, out
But
of those in front of you, only two of them are the same tier as you anyway.
yeah,
Airways, Roundy and Wookie are all prospects.
yeah. So
I mean, you were later out than a lot of people as well, so you got worse conditions. So I think P6 is a pretty good one.
yeah, I'm extremely happy with that. So
There we go, we're just waiting for the last few guys to either cross the line or jump in the pit lane. Well, Kazer's just about to enter the pit lane and Ant's not far behind him, so that is Ant's gone for the line. So there's our grid. It's DRS Neil, Super Striker, Airways, Roundy, Wookie, Era Voice, Scottish Ninja, Captain Nibs, M-Bulk, B17, Kaiser Soze, Anton, Fast Track Dave, Maxov and Ghost Rider, who never managed to actually get a time in. So the answer to this safety car question, we have, funnily enough, one guess one side of it and one guess the other side of it. The answer is actually 24. And we had Roundy guessing 25 and Super Striker guessing 23. So very close guesses there. Let's throw up a few more facts during the race and see if we can get some more YouTube involvement. What do you win? A Blue Peter badge. Unfortunately, I'm fresh out of them and I don't think they do them anymore, so it'll be an IOU. Obviously, remember, guys, 5-minute break. We'll go again at 20:46. Let's hope nobody presses the button tonight. They do still do Blue Peter badges. Mandy, stop dropping me in it. I didn't think they did them anymore. So let's have a look at the facts while we're waiting. So, anybody know how many versions of the Marina Bay circuit we've actually had? From the original to the current? I'll start with you, Fabian, see if you've got any idea.
Sorry, what did you say?
So obviously they keep changing the layout of the track, don't they?
Yeah.
From 2008 till now. Do you know what version of the track this one actually is?
I think it's the fourth one or the third one. Third one.
No, unfortunately not. Super Striker straight in the YouTube chat with the correct answer. It's of course 5.
5?
So we had the original version.
Yeah,
Then
it was with Singapore Sling.
the Singapore Sling was removed in 2013.
Yeah.
I mean, I quite like the Singapore Sling, but I can see why they removed it. It did create some dangerous crashes. Then in 2015, turns 11 and 13 were reprofiled. And then in 2018, turns 16 and 17 were reprofiled. And obviously we've just had 4 corners removed, which may actually return. Apparently they've done it because they're doing some works on that bay area at the front, which is actually what that cut into the bay. So we may get that back. So who can tell me which driver has the most wins at this track?
I'll go with the hard one.
I'll give you a clue. It's not Max.
Nah,
He's never actually won here.
it's either Sebastian Vettel or Lewis Hamilton.
That's the guesses I'm getting up in the YouTube chat as well.
I'm going with Vettel.
You would be correct.
Yeah?
Vettel has the most wins at this track. Bonus points if you could tell me which 2 teams he's won with.
Red Bull and Ferrari?
Yep. Do you know how many wins with each team? Just to make it really complicated.
2 with Ferrari? And 3 with Red Bull?
Correct.
Oh!
Do you know which team has the most wins here?
Yeah, it's going to be a guess. I think Mercedes
No.
or Red Bull.
No.
Nah, then I wouldn't know.
M-Bulk's got it. It's Ferrari.
Ah.
And Super Striker as well. Roundy going Williams. I would actually love to see Williams win a race again. 'Cause the last time they won a race was that freak one in Spain at 2012 with Pastor Maldonado. His one and only race win. And then for those who remember the race, his car actually caught fire afterwards. Bit of a freak one. There we go. Let's get people racing again. 5-minute timer is up. So hope your setups are ready, your strategies are ready. Hit the button, let's go racing. And we'll come back to more facts later on in the session. Hopefully not too many safety cars, because I'm going to end up running out of these facts. I thought I had quite a few and it's looking like maybe not.
I hope it's not as bad as last week in Monza.
Oh, I hope not. We had quite a lot there. There we go, we're about to get the formation lap underway. Although I say Ferrari has the most wins here with 5, I believe one of them was actually at the Thompson Road. So if we go by Marina Bay, 3 teams actually hold the joint record with 4. And obviously they were all guessed anyway. It was Ferrari, Red Bull and Merck. Have all won 4 apiece. I mean, Mr. Vettel in the Red Bull used to be pretty much a beast here at one point.
Yeah.
You got to that part and it was like, yeah, Singapore Vettel's going to win. There we go, possible strategies, hard to medium 1 stop. Or medium soft, soft 2 stop. That could work if you've got safety cars. I probably wouldn't risk it in normal running because if I remember right, the softs don't last too long here.
Well, I took the risk. I'm starting on the softs.
Let's have a look. Let's bring the tyres up anyway. You just reminded me there. So yourself and Super Striker have gone for the softs. DRS Neil, Roundy, Wookie, Anton, Maxov and Ghost Rider have all gone mediums, which leaves Airways, Scottish Ninja, Captain Nibs, M-Bulk, B17, Kaiser Soze and Fast Track all on hards. Personally, I usually prefer to start with the mediums, but it's sometimes good to switch it up. I just find if you go mediums, you've got open choice of strategy. So if you can make them last long enough, you can go to the softs. Or you can jump to the hards if they're not lasting. Although you can get absolutely shot by strategy if you get a safety car. So your option of going softs might actually work out if we get an early safety car.
That's what I'm aiming for. I'm aiming for an early safety car. Then I will switch to the hards. And maybe towards the end I will go to either softs or medium.
Well, you should have plenty of softs left over.
Yeah.
There we go, let's get everybody lined up. Wow, Neil's gone for an aggressive point on this start. Don't get too aggressive with it though. I remember what happened at Netherlands. There we go. The lights are coming on. We've got Super Striker on the right, Neil on the left, 5 red lights, and we go racing. If we get past this glitch and the cars actually move. There we go. Neil's had a good start. Super Striker saw him coming in and swap sides. They're going to be almost side by side into turn 1. Airways got away clean, so did Roundy, Wookie. Few position swaps at the moment. Captain Nibs and Scottish Ninja are battling for position. Just going into the first DRS straight. Obviously no DRS for 2 laps at the race start. But so far everybody seems to have got through quite cleanly. Can't see any damage with no flags, which is always a great start. So Neil leads, Super Striker 2nd, Airways 3rd, Roundy 4th, Wookie 5th and Era 6th. The top 6 seem to be unchanged. Let's see who has changed. M-Bulk's up 2 positions, Ninja's down 1, Nibs is down 1, Kaiser Soze's up 1, B17's down 1, Anton hasn't moved. Max is up 1, Ghost Rider's up 1 and Fast Track Dave is down 2. We're just coming up to the end of the 2nd sector and we have no issues, which is great to see. We love some great clean racing.
Oh, I'd like to say start again.
Not just yet, you wouldn't. Bit too early for that, maybe like 5, 6.
Yeah, true.
Depends how the tyres go. Although after that little blip we had at Monza, it's good to see some nice clean racing this week.
Yeah.
And we've got round lap 1 without issue. DRS Neil in his usual position, leading the race, but Super Striker is not letting him get away. And I know from personal experience Super Striker is pretty quick at this track. Because I have raced with him in another league on this track. Captain Nibs is having a look at M-Bulk, he's on the inside. Didn't quite make that work that time. It's got to watch his rear because Kaiser Soze only needs a quick sniff and he will be through. Got a nice train of cars there. Scottish Ninja being the operative cork in the bottle at the moment. So he's dropped 2.5 seconds behind yourself, but then he's got M-Bulk, Nibs, Soze, B17 and Ant all right behind him. Max is...
I think he just overtook M-Bulk.
Them two have been battling quite a bit in these opening stages, but yeah, I think he has.
I think that's why the gap is 2.6 seconds at the moment, because they were battling.
Although Bulk is dropping back a little bit from him, so maybe Bulk is the cork in the bottle.
Yeah, it seemed that start that he had a lot of problems finding traction, so...
I wonder if that's tyre... Oh, both Ninja and Bulk are on the hards. Nibs has now got Bulk going into the final chicane. DRS Neil with the fastest lap, 33.8. Guy is ridiculously quick. Wookie's all over the back around this, so that should create a good battle. Mercedes versus Aston Martin. It's bringing back early season vibes. Because we ain't seen a lot of Aston Martin recently, they've dropped right off. Let's have a look, any other close battles? Yeah, Bulk is definitely the cork in the bottle. He's dropped 1.5 seconds behind Nibs now. Although Ninja doesn't look overly quick, he's on track, he's doing pretty well. I mean, P7 is not awful, that's P4 in the prospects. Yourself is essentially P3 in the A team.
Well, I take that.
I would as well.
Any day, especially at this track.
I mean, we're only on lap 3 of 31, a lot can happen yet. You keep it consistent, you could find yourself even higher up. Anton has just taken B17 at the back. Not a lot else happening. Max is really dropping off the back of these guys. He's 4 seconds back at the moment. But keep going. Anybody who finishes will get points. Wookie has just got Roundy into turn 1, but ran himself wide, and Roundy's back on the inside of him. I think you need to get out of bed a little bit earlier than that, Wookie, if you want to pull the blinder on Roundy. He wasn't born yesterday, you know. And here comes Ava Voice in the Red Bull. He's sniffing out the Mercedes and the Aston in front of him.
My tyres are still good, so...
Yeah, just keep it going as long as you can.
Yeah, they're only 14% now, so...
That's nothing, that. You might even get past lap 10.
Yeah.
It's one of them tracks where if you can look after your tyres and not get too caught up in what's going on, burning them out, you can actually go quite a long way. Because it's not the most abrasive of tracks.
Yeah,
oh, Scottish Ninja's just lost it coming out the hairpin. That's no front wing for him. And we have a safety car. Ghost Rider has a 5-second penalty for a collision with Max. Not Max Verstappen, it's Max Ov. See if anybody decides to pit. Super Striker's taken the chance. Fast Track's just got himself a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car. Wonder if he's got that Delta glitch where it doesn't tell you. Like I got Netherlands. M-Bulk's on an intermediate setup. I don't know, Fast Track Dave's just got another drive-through. It just popped up saying he had again. So we've had a few guys decided to pit. Super Striker, Ava Voice, Anton, Max, Scottish Ninja obviously because he's no front wing, he didn't have much choice on that one. It'd be like trying to steer a boat around your local town if you don't. Is Fast Track going to pit? I hope he knows he can't serve his penalties under his drive-throughs under safety car, unfortunately. So let's see what other facts we have whilst we have a little bit of safety car. So the length of the circuit is 3.070 miles, that's 4.94 kilometres. The full 100% distance of this race would be 62 laps. As we run 50%, it's only 31. We have 3 DRS zones, one on the pit straight, one between turns 4 and 5, and one between turns 13 and 14. That's just after the hairpin, after the Anderson Bridge. Usually find that between turn 4 and 5 is your best bet of overtaking. The pit start finish straight doesn't really throw up a lot. I think that one's a bit pointless personally.
No, but the straight on between turn 4 and 5, it's crazy how much time you gain when you can use DRS.
Yeah, it's probably why it's usually the best overtaking spot.
Yeah, but it's a way shorter than say Mexico or Azerbaijan, but it's crazy how much you gain in on the short straight.
I think that's because Singapore you run really high wings.
Yeah.
The higher wings you run, the bigger the rear wing is, so when it opens it's a bit more relief, whereas Baku you don't run super low wings, but you don't run big ones either. You're not Singapore's Monaco level wings really.
Yeah, true.
Whereas Baku isn't. And Mexico, the problem is they run like Monaco level wings, but they only get the equivalent of like Monza level wings because of the lack of air. Because it's so high above sea level, the air's a lot thinner, so it doesn't create the downforce in the same way. The cars always struggle for the cooling, that's why you always see them with bigger ducts.
Yeah.
And they're always pulling out away from other cars. That's why your DRS varies per track on how powerful it actually is. I mean, you look at Monza, the DRS is pointless.
Yeah, but I did some practice races last week, and it just amazed me how much time you can gain on that straight. Particularly, it's crazy.
I mean, it could be they've over-programmed it in the game. Not saying that Codemasters will make a mistake, but it is full of glitches.
I won't deny that as well.
Problem is, all those mugs keep going and buying the game every year.
True. Yes. Yeah. On the other hand, it's still enjoyable though.
So, Singapore Grand Prix. Who holds the lap record?
I go with Valtteri Bottas.
Now, bear in mind, the track was changed this year.
Oh yeah, this year is faster. Then I go with Carlos Sainz.
Close, but unfortunately not.
Charles Leclerc.
No.
Alonso?
Nope.
Yeah, then I have no idea.
Let's have a look. We're getting some guesses in the YouTube, so let's have a quick look at them. Roundy says Charles or Norris. It was neither.
Let me think. Singapore. I think it was, yeah.
Go on.
That battle, it was, I think, a murk. Because they were closing in on Ferraris very quickly towards the end. I think I think it's Lewis Hamilton or George Russell, but I'll stick with Hamilton.
It is Hamilton.
Oh. Yeah, I
Now,
remember
what the previous layout, you said Valtteri Bottas.
Yeah.
You would be incorrect.
Incorrect.
Yes. For the 2018, 2019 and 2022 races.
Yeah, then I don't have it. Yeah, Sebastian Vettel?
No. He did hold it, the record for the one without the Singapore sling. Oh, we're back racing again. See how we get on this time. And we will come back to that question later on if anybody in YouTube wants to take a guess. Oh, Dave's night's going from bad to worse. 5-second penalty.
Ooh, B17 is in the wall.
Oh no. And lost his wing, so that's going to... Is that another safety car or is it just a virtual? I think it's just a virtual this time.
And still has his wing, I think.
B17 doesn't.
Yeah. Oh no, true. He lost the car out of turn 3?
Or something around there. It's quite easily done, is that one?
Yeah, it's...
Especially after a safety car restart when your tyres aren't optimal.
Yeah, true.
I think we've all done it at some point.
I'm guilty.
I did it on time trial trying to get faster at this track many times.
It's a very easy place to lose your car.
Yeah, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different lap records for this track. And only 2 of them are held by the same person. But we're racing again. Roundies is chasing down Airways. That's one of our closest battles. But Super Striker all over the back of Ghost Rider. Nothing really doing at the moment. But I believe Super Striker is the lead out of the cars that actually pitted under the safety car. So he will have fresher tyres than a lot of those in front of him. Just like yourself, Fabian. And obviously Ant behind you, Max, Ninja, B17's in the pits getting his new nose at the moment. Scottish Ninja's putting a move on Max. Coming around into turn 5, although they're pretty side by side at the moment. Oh, Max goes straight on. Not something you really want to do. He outbraked himself and just went straight into the runoff. Stick on board with Super Striker versus Ghost Rider. It's definitely our closest battle at the moment. You can just see the difference in the tyres though. He has so much more grip at the moment. Even though he's on hards and Ghost Rider's on mediums.
I'm feeling very uncomfortable with Ant behind me pushing.
Yeah, that's not someone you really want that close in your mirrors, is it?
I think I'll just let him go.
Sometimes a sensible option.
Yeah. No fighting him because I know he's quicker and...
I think Super Striker could have had a move there, but it just got blocked in by Kaiser Soze. That's the end of the second lap after the safety car, so DRS is now enabled. If Super Striker doesn't get him before turn 4, I suspect he'll get him before between turn 4 and 5. Well, it depends who's the slippiest in a straight line. Because they will both get DRS at the moment. Let's jump on board with him and have a look. I think Ghost Rider's actually running a little bit skinnier wings. Because he's going to make a move on Kaiser Soze. Oh! Makes contact with M-Bulk. Went from hero to zero in a few seconds.
I made a mistake out of turn 4 and now Scottish Ninja could easily pass me with DRS.
Oh, we'll just keep your head down, I'm sure it'll come back to you.
Yeah.
It's probably because you're doing this driver comms with me, it is quite distracting.
No, to be honest, it's okay.
Oh, what happened there? I think Kaiser got it a little bit wrong at the hairpin. Super Striker give him a little love tap on the exit, but nothing major. Ooh, Soze got very leery on the exit, and unfortunately it put Super Striker into a wall. He tried taking advantage of the situation, it just did not pay off for him. I'll give you a free position though.
Yeah. And remember, most of the guys in front of me still have to pit, so I can't complain.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the tyres. So, Ant, Ninja, yourself, Super Striker are the leading pack out of those that have already pitted. Kaiser Soze is stuck in the middle of you on 10 lap old hards, so I can see why he didn't pit, because they will not be dead yet. They're just taking a little bit of time to come back to him. And Super Striker goes for it into turn 5 and absolutely textbook. It was like candy from a baby, that one.
Or Jesus Soze's tires are so dead because he's braking so early.
I mean, they shouldn't really be dead 10 lap hards. Maybe he's just not got the heat back in them. Or it's the typical case of the hards do not fire back up very well after a safety car.
Yeah, something like that, because he is struggling. I hope I can get past him really quickly.
Jump on board with you and see how you get on. I mean, it's probably only braking as early as I would anyway, but...
I really have to lift and coast 10 or 20 meters before my braking zone.
I think your best chance is probably between turn 4 and 5, and he's ran himself out of ERS. That must be a nice sight for you, him flashing in front of you.
Nah.
Knowing he's got no ERS and you're not doing awful on it.
I still have 77%.
Can you make it happen with ERS and DRS? Gaining very, very quickly. And the move is done. Next up for you is M-Bulk. Let's go have a look what's happening elsewhere. So Wookie is all over the back of Roundy, who's lost bags of time to DRS Neil and Airways. And we're on a virtual safety car again. That's about to become a full safety car. Wonder what happened there. Fast Track Dave has no front wing. I think he's had himself a little misdemeanor.
I wonder if the mediums will last 19 laps.
Couldn't tell you on that. Fast Track's heading for the pit lane and he's about to get lapped, unfortunately. Oh, another 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Oh, Neil and Airways have followed him in, so maybe he won't get lapped. Which depends on what everybody else does. Round is going in, Anton's staying out. Ah, Dave's retired, unfortunately. Not his night tonight. I think we need to do a bit of work with him on this pit lane, because he seems to get penalties every time he goes in the pits.
Isn't pit assist enabled?
Not No, we don't have it enabled.
Ah.
So after this round of pit stops, everybody will have pitted at least once. Airways will be the leader of the guys with the freshest tyres. Whereas yourself, Super Striker, Scottish Ninja and Anton, who are the lead four, are on 8-lap tyres.
Ah, great, and I have all Airways right behind me. He's so fast, oh...
Oh, I know he is. I'm doomed on getting anywhere near a championship with his lead now.
No, he is incredibly fast.
We're missing the last 2 races. I'm absolutely doomed. So going back to our questions while we've got a safety car, who do you think held that lap record?
I really have no idea. I'll go with Fernando Alonso.
No. I'll give you a clue. He drives a car that you wouldn't expect to be at the front of the field, and he is currently driving said car. In reality.
He's still on the grid in that car.
He's still in the same car after being rehired. Think of a team that's near the back of the grid.
Is it yeah, near the back of the Haas?
It is a Haas.
Then it's Nico Hülkenberg?
No.
Ah, it's the other one that got rehired.
Hulkenberg hadn't driven for Haas before, had he?
Didn't he? No, it was Renault. No, true. Then yeah, it had to be Magnussen.
It is Magnussen. From 2018 race. The lap record for the version before that was held by Lewis Hamilton from 2017. Obviously I've already said Mr. Vettel held the lap record for when they removed the Singapore sling from the 2013 race. Can you remember who held the lap record for the original layout with the Singapore sling? He doesn't race anymore, he retired a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, I knew it. I just watched it on YouTube.
No, Mr. Bulk, it wasn't Massa. Safety cars in this lap.
No, I don't have a clue, to be honest.
It was Kimi Raikkonen.
Ah, the Iceman.
Yep, from the 2008 race, the inaugural race. Quite an interesting race by all accounts, which we'll come back to that a bit later on, because we're about to get some action again. And Anton is de facto safety car, and doing a gav is going really, really slowly. Safety car's in the pit lane, so he can pretty much go whenever he feels like it. This is definitely doing a gav, and I think he's gone just before the chicane, and Scottish Ninja's lost it in the chicane. Oh, it's not his night, and he's retired. Damn. I thought he was having a pretty good race as well, just got a little bit unlucky at times. There we go, Anton leads. Super Striker is 1.5 seconds behind him. 1.7, the gap is actually growing. He's got some work to do. Then it's yourself in third position. with airways
Yeah.
all over the back of you.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you're fighting
Struggling.
for position on track, but you're not essentially fighting for position because you're different tiers. So
I'm just fighting for finishing, to be honest.
him passing you doesn't actually lose you any points.
Nah.
But then you've got Roundy all over the back here.
And to be honest, I'm happy if I finish top 5.
With Wookie the rookie behind him. That's a very, very tight train. We've got Roundy, Wookie, Captain Nibs, M-Bulk, all in a very short space of track. Let's see what's happening. I think Roundy's going for it. No, he's not. He's pulled out of it. Quite sensible from the square man himself. Is he going to go for it into the chicane? Nope. He's just having a look. I see we've still got the special edition Aston Martin livery. Where they did the tribute to, is it Valvoline? The oil company. And it's through, but again, not overly much point fighting that one. Ah, now here's a battle we've seen a few times before. Red Bull versus Mercedes. With a Ferrari trying to tag along. Oh, and Captain Nibs throws it up the inside. All nice and clean. I think this is just Mug the Dutchman tonight.
Yeah, it's extremely clean racing tonight.
Except you're getting mugged, but yeah.
Yeah, but
Wow, Airways
honestly,
is not hanging about. He's all over the back of Super Striker already.
yeah, it was crazy how much.
That tyre difference is really showing itself now.
Yeah, true.
I mean, it's actually going around the outside at turn, is it 15, 14? Whichever one it is after the DRS straight, it went around the outside of him.
I'm getting eaten by everyone.
Let's have a look. The tyres aren't massively different either. 11 lap hards. Yeah, I suppose 3 lap mediums, 3 lap hards. You'll be praying for another safety car later on. Kaiser Soze wants to munch on a Dutchman. Now you've got B17 for company. What a move that was up the inside at turn 3. You do not see that every day. Some great racing I'm seeing here. Wookiees all over the back of Roundy again. Are they on same age tyres? They are same age, same compound, so that really is a fight for position. Or fight for who takes P2 and P3 on the podium, because Airways has just checked out. It's like 4 seconds up the road from them. Soze is now all over the back of M-Bulk, coming out of the hairpin. He's got DRS, Bulk hasn't. Can him use it to great effect? Personally, I don't think the straight's long enough to have a lot. I think it'd be better on this new straight they've put in. It would certainly have more effect there. DRS Neil's just past B17. He'll be wanting to fight his way back to the front because he didn't have the best of races last week. And while we've got a few people missing, it's a good chance to try and earn them extra points you want. Especially as Anton, I believe, still leads the championship and is in P1 at the moment. Although Airways has closed him off by a second so far. So that guy is definitely not slouching around. Let's have a quick look at the driver standings. So in the A team, it's Ant with 80 points. SW was not racing tonight with 52, so Ant's got a really good chance here to extend this lead. Kaiser Soze is on 49, DRS Neil 46, Nibs 40, B17 32, Super Striker 31, yourself 27, Mr Bailey after winning last week on 25, Dumbest Hornet 23, Rob Dog on 10 and Julian on 8. Over to the prospects, Airways on 81, Wookie on 53, Max off 52, myself 47, so Airways has a really good chance here to extend again. Chelsea 21, Ghost Rider 15, Fast Track Dave 15. The combination of the Banshee and Connor 10. Richie with 2, Scottish Ninja unfortunately still to score. Mbulk again still to score, but looks like he should do tonight. And let's have a look at the constructors' standings. Alpine lead the way by 1 point from Williams. I suspect that will change tonight, considering we have 2 Williams in the race and only 1 Alpine. The Red Bulls on 102, the Ferraris 96, Mercedes 82, Alfa Romeo 73, Haas 61, AlphaTauri 45, Aston Martin 44 and the McLaren's on 41. Let's see how it looks once the race is over, the stewarding's done and the results are posted, hopefully within the next couple of days. But I suspect the leaders of the Drivers' Championships will not be changing. Airways is now 7/10 of a second behind Ant. I mean, we're talking here a Prospects driver versus an A-team driver, and we all know how quick Anton is. That is literally the difference between 14 lap hards and 6 lap mediums. Captain Nibs has just taken Roundy for P5 on track. Super Striker's decided to pit. I'm guessing he's had enough of them hards. Although they are 15 laps old. And as we've seen from Anton, they're not faring up too well. What's he going for? A set of softs? For 12 laps? Interesting. Well, if he's got tyre wear like you had earlier, it could work. Airways has just taken Ant for the lead. We missed that one, unfortunately. Let's see what sort of gap he can pull now. I mean, Ant's probably thinking, well, just let him go. It doesn't really affect my points anyway, but that's when the racing instinct comes in. You want to be P1 on that track. But he's passed him. He's 1.1 seconds ahead. He's not slouching around. I don't think Ant's got any answer for him now. Wookie's nearly 6 seconds back off this pair. And it's Captain Nibs a further 1.3, Roundy 1.7 going to 1.8, DRS Neil all over the back of Roundy now. This could be quite an easy move. Well, they don't really need to fight him for the position anyway. Oh, what happened there? A little bit of contact and Roundy ended up in the runoff. Not great to see. Where are we then? So Bulk has got past Roundy, who's dropped 3 seconds behind him. Ghost Rider 3 seconds behind Roundy. Super Striker on the brand new softs. Let's see what you can do. I suspect he could get quite up there. Ah, you've had another pit stop yourself onto fresh mediums.
Yeah. So I hope Compact will also need another safety car. So I will gain time now.
Yeah, B17 ahead of you has just got fresh tyres as well, so maybe you can work together and try and get through the pack.
Yeah, that's my plan.
do a bit of an esports thing. Work together until it doesn't suit you anymore.
Exactly.
Captain Nibs pushing Wookie round this track. Just going over the Anderson Bridge together, and we've got a lovely helicopter shot of the action as well. Maybe a minor bit of contact, or almost contact, coming off the exit of the hairpin. And Nibs is going around the outside of him. Can he make it stick? He can. What a move. So Airways leads, Anton second, Captain Nibs third, although Wookie's was about to throw one up the inside at the chicane. Backed out because nothing was happening. DRS Neil catching these two very quickly. Oh, Wookie, a 3-second time penalty. Them two, instead of fighting, maybe want to try and work together because Neil is coming fast. Kaiser Soze in 6th, Bulk in 7th, Ghost Rider 8th, Round is pitted and is currently 9th but will likely drop a little bit. Super Striker takes 9th with a fastest lap of 1:31.5. Fortunately no fastest lap point in this league. Purely because we run two different tiers, it'd be a nightmare to try and work out fastest driver from each side basically. Max off 3-second time penalty for cutting the corner. Well, that was quite a big cut there. Outbraked himself into turn 1. I see you've Roundy's come out just behind you. What's he gone for? Fresh set of mediums. So you guys can probably all work together. Let's have a look.
It's strange, but 9 laps to go that he goes to the mediums.
Yeah, personally I'd have probably gone softs depending on your tyre wear.
Exactly.
DRS Neil almost side by side with Wookie. Going into the final chicane and he makes it stick. So Neil is up to 4th. That's a podium in the A team. Can he now chase down Captain Nibs and Anton? We shall see in the final few 9 laps. Mbulk 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. Well, he's got a 20-second buffer to Max. So a quick look at penalties. I know we don't have many at the moment. 6 seconds for Max, 3 for Wookie and 5 for Bulk. That's pretty good going for Singapore, to be fair. Ghost Rider and Super Striker side by side. And Super Striker goes straight through. Textbook DRS move. I see you all over the back of around. He's got past you.
Yeah, he has so much more speed. So I think Mbulk will also catch me very soon.
I think Mbulk's struggling because he's got the wrong setup on. So he's lacking speed.
Well, so am I, but I have the right setup, so...
And the Max fan club has just appeared in the YouTube. Good evening. Oh, he's a bit out on his own at the moment. 19 seconds behind Ghost Rider. Currently running P9. Ants now drops 4.1 seconds behind Airways.
Oh, Ronnie has made a mistake.
The field's quite spread now. Not a lot is happening.
Mbulk is catching me very fast.
Oh, he is as well. Mbulk is on softs. That's probably why.
Yeah, but he has a 5-second penalty, so that I'll try to keep him behind me as long as possible. Make sure I'm within the 5 seconds at the end of the race.
I think Neil's progress is somewhat halted a bit. He's not really gained a lot on Captain Nibs this lap, but he is on 10 lap softs. I'm not convinced they're going to go to the end. He may have to pit again, which would then drop him down to probably P8 behind Ghost Rider. Should be clear of Max, obviously, because he's 19.5 seconds behind Ghost Rider. But at least we've no Renaults in this race. We've got Renault engines, no Renaults. And DRS Neil must have been listening because he's just entered the pit lane. Fresh set of softs coming up, I suspect. And obviously that little quip about Renault brings us back to the 2008 race and the controversy surrounding Crashgate. For those that don't remember, Nelson Piquet Jr. was instructed by the Renault team to deliberately crash because Alonso had just pitted and it meant he was in prime position to win the race, which he did.
Yeah, I think their team boss, Flavio Briatore, got a lifetime ban at first from all Formula One activities.
Yeah, I mean, that race really should have been nullified.
Yeah, true.
Although Bernie Eccleston did admit years later that that race should have actually been nullified at the time.
They're crashing in front of me, Maxo and Emil.
Oh no! Hopefully you managed to avoid that.
Yeah, I did. I just saw it happen right in front of me.
Just a yellow flag in Sector 2 at the moment, which is now cleared.
Wookie just passed me 2 corners ago and he's already 2.5 seconds in front of me.
Yeah, he's definitely quick. He's all over the back of his teammate now. His team order's going to come into play. Is B17 going to let him through? Because he's clearly the faster of the two at the moment.
All I'm trying right now is just to bring the car home.
Bring the car home, get some points. That's all you can do.
Exactly. And to be honest, my goal was just to finish the race.
Somebody's got to bring home the Red Bull honor, since I'm not. I should be back next week for Japan though.
Yeah, since I had 0 points last week because of my turn, I think lap 1 accident, turn 3. Yeah, just bring it home is good enough.
Well, I'll be aiming to bring it home with a lot of points next week at Japan. So I really do love that track.
Yeah, I love that track as well.
I'm known for being pretty quick at that one, although very unlucky at the same time, so hopefully luck is on my side next week.
Yeah.
In another league I've had 2 opportunities to win at that track and both times it's not worked out.
Yeah. I don't have a track I'm particularly fast at, to be honest. I'm like steady on all tracks, not fast, not slow, just average.
Captain Nibs has pitted, which drops him from P3 to P4. So obviously Super Striker's stayed out. Let's have a look at tyre situation. Oh, DRS Neil's now got Captain Nibs. And his teammate Ghost Rider. Will he regret that decision to pit, or can he actually make something work in these final few laps? So obviously he'll be very fast on fresh tyres, but he's just lost out to 3 people. With a total gap of around 18 seconds.
My tyres really are starting to drop off now. Becoming very slippery.
And Captain Nibs is straight past Ghost Rider. I suspect a little bit of team playing involved there, because he really didn't fight that too hard. Roundy's coming up fairly. I don't know if it's Wookie's just passed Roundy recently or Roundy's catching Wookie. It'd be impressive if he is. 5 lap mediums versus 2 lap softs. Interestingly, quite a few guys have taken this late opportunity to pit. You do realise there's no fastest lap point, guys. So unless your tyres were dead, it's probably not your best call. Anton though, 23 lap hards and he's still hanging on.
He's probably doing faster lap times than I am.
15 lap mediums for Airways and 15 lap hards for Ghost Rider, and then you're on 10 lap mediums. Everybody else has younger tyres than you.
And here I am struggling.
Well, like you said, bring it home, grab some points, call it a good day at the office. Oh, Roundy, time penalty for multiple warnings. Brings our total up to 5 people with penalties. Which is of course Ghost Rider with 3, Wookie with 6, Roundy with 3, Bulk with 5 and Max with 6. Either way, if all 13 finish, there should be some decent points handed out tonight. Let's go have a look at Ghost Rider, who's on the... I think he's just been overtaken recently by Kaiser Soze. Captain Nibs doesn't seem to be taking much out of DRS Neil, so I'm not sure if he'll regret that decision to pit. There's a common theme on this track, everybody is flashing like crazy.
What, because of the ERS?
Yep. They've all...
Well, I'm still at 55.
Everybody I go and watch is flashing like crazy.
Yeah, I don't tend to use it a lot on this track. I'm still at 55.
But the question is, have you broken into a nice sweat? Considering this is one of the toughest circuits on the calendar, with very, very high humidity. If we don't see some drivers breaking a sweat, then you're clearly too fast. And got too much time to chill. Although, incidentally, not as hot as Qatar.
Yeah, Qatar was just crazy.
That was brutal.
Yeah.
That's the whole reason Bahrain went from being a day race to a night race, because it was just too brutal for the drivers.
Yeah, just Esteban Ocon, he just threw up in his helmet 2 times during the race at Qatar.
Yeah,
imagine just driving and throwing up in your own helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not the most pleasant of thoughts, really, is it? Jump on board with him.
I hope he didn't have sushi before the race. Imagine the smell.
Oh, you're obsessed with sushi, you are.
I love sushi.
You do realise Rob's not going to buy you sushi?
No?
Think yourself lucky he offered you a burger.
Then I will have a word with Rob. No worries.
No, you can't at the moment. He's currently sunning himself up somewhere. DRS Neil has now caught Super Striker. He's got just over a lap in which to try and overtake him. So a quick look at the tyre difference. 10 lap softs versus 5 lap softs. You would suspect that Neil's going to make this happen. And take P2 in the 18, P3 on the road. Nice strong haul of points for him tonight, that it's looking like. Well, Super Striker's had a really good race on his return, because obviously he's missed a few recently. See, can Neil make it work into turn 5? He goes round him on the inside, and he's got it done, even before the braking zone. Question is, can Super Striker hang on to him? I don't think he can. His tyres look a little bit gone now. And 10 laps is sort of right on the limit, especially when you're racing all the way through it.
Well, I'm pretty proud of myself. I only have one track limit warning all race.
That's pretty good going, especially for Singapore.
Yeah.
Oh, here comes Captain Nibs. Oh, he's in DRS range, but he's not actually got DRS. But he's pushing Super Striker around that corner. And there we go. Airways wins the race. Anton second.
What a legend.
Got caught up in that other battle and actually missed him crossing the line. Here we go. DRS Neil comes around for third on the road. Super Striker will just hang on for fourth from Captain Nibs, who finishes less than a tenth of a second behind him in fifth. Kaiser Soze now coming round to claim sixth. Now we're waiting on the Mercedes man, the Wookie the Rookie, in P7. Ghost Rider, P8. Roundy comes home, P9. Now we're just waiting on the other Mercedes man. B17 crosses the line in P10. Here we go, the one and only Red Bull on the track. Takes P11 with a little weave.
I'm happy.
Emble takes P12 and Max, I believe, was P13. Game's given Ant driver of the day. Well, what for doing as usual? I'm going to come from the back of the grid. Let's have a look at the podium celebrations. Okay, that's a weird walk, but it's better than some we see. But what a race from Airways there, fully deserves that.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Let the podium celebrations finish, and then we can obviously see the final standings. Have a look at drivers of the day as well, because we usually pick one from each side of the tiers. There you go, that's the final results. Scroll down to get just fast track Dave, it wasn't showing. Not many penalties tonight either. So I'd say prospects, it's got to go to Airways. That was a stunning drive, especially to win the whole thing. For the A team though, I don't know who I'd go for. Have you seen anybody that was impressive on your travels?
Yeah, Airways.
Well, that's prospects side covered. I think A team I may go Kaiser Soze actually, because he's gone from 11th to 6th, kept his nose clean, nice steady race.
Yeah, or Anthony.
He does it all the time though, coming from the back.
Yeah, true.
We've seen that too many times now. It's impressive, but it's been done. There we go. That's us done for the evening. Obviously, thank you for joining me, Fabian.
Yeah, no worries.
And thank you everybody for watching. Hopefully we should have a commentator to be back next week. Same time, Tuesday 8:15 at the Japanese Grand Prix. Personally, I won't be commentating it because I'm definitely racing that one. If not, we will be back the week after when our Gav returns, bringing his own unique blend of madness to the comms. But from everybody here, it's good night.
Good night.